Well, it looks like the time is here. The pre-wipe events have started, or at least what I think is the kickoff to the official pre-wipe. Whatever that means, take it for what it's worth. What we got from BSG to start this all off was a video from Fence. Now, I have it here playing behind me. You can go watch it yourself. Check out the video. I'll put a link down in the description. Go watch it. It's kind of cool. The long and short of it is basically Fence sent his guys to Resort to look for something. They found it. They were coming back to Fence to report it, and Sanitar captured them or cut them off or intercepted them. He drugged them to get the information out of them and then let them go. But then the goons got a hold of them. So now Lightkeeper knows the same information. And that's where the story picks up for the tasks and stuff like that. Now, kind of with the lore of this, the scavs are kind of stoned, and you'll kind of see that in Raid with the scavs acting funny. And there's a couple of additional dead scavs in the specific locations. And we'll talk about that in a second as well. Now, Fence wraps this up by stating that if you complete his errands, he has I'm going to read the quote here, a fancy improvement for your hideout so you can expand stash a bit. And we'll talk more about that later here in a sec as well. So the first task you get is from Fence, and you have to go accept this. It hasn't been like in the past where you automatically have it. You've got to go to Fence and accept it. And what he wants you to do is go locate his men who went missing on Shoreline and then survive and extract from the location. So looking at the Shoreline map that's provided in the game, you have the resort, and I'll zoom in here. This is the resort. You got West Wing and East Wing, right? Outside of resort, over in this general vicinity, right over here, there is a truck with scavs that spawn around it. I'm sure you've all run into it before. There are additional dead bodies there. All you got to do is walk over those and you're good to go, but you do have to survive the raid, and people have been camping that, so be careful. Now, just as a added bonus, just to throw it in there, just so you know that you can check this box, the first one of the dead scavs or finding Fence's friends on Lighthouse as well in the sunken village on this little road right here in the middle. It's kind of the same place you do Jaeger's letter, if you remember that task, which is the shack. There's just dead scavs. It'll check it, but you cannot extract from Shoreline on Lighthouse, obviously. So you'll have to go to Shoreline and extract to complete the task. But just a little extra tidbit for those that might want to know or be curious about it. Now, once you complete that, there's no reward. You get a quest from Therapist. So you got to go to her. It's the Terror Group Trail Part 2. And this time you have to kill the weird scavs, which are the ones that are acting weird, and find the source of their abnormal behavior. Now, the weird scavs are just the scavs that spawn in those two areas we talked about on Shoreline and Lighthouse. Either one works. Now, I've killed scavs that kind of spawn in at the end of the raid, and it didn't count. So if somebody goes through and clears the scavs out and one spawns after, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So you really want to be the first one there to kill them. On Shoreline, that's completely spawn dependent. You got to pretty much be there right away, and it's a shit show. Everybody's over there on Shoreline right now. I had way much better luck on Lighthouse because there's more scavs, they're easier to kill, there's more spawns that have source or access to them. So just keep that in mind. It's a little bit easier to do on Lighthouse. And then those scavs you kill, they have the chance to drop an Obdabalos N. This is a new stim, got some goofy stats on it, and that you don't, it doesn't have to be found in raid, but you got to turn it into Therapist. So once you get it, put it in your secure container, because even if you die, you can still turn it in. And then you're done with part 2. And then we go to part 3, which is with Proper. And he wants a laptop. Now, this laptop is on water treatment plant. Now, pretty simply, you got to go to the front gate of the water treatment plant, right where in here. So if you're a bear, I guess you're killing them. You can't do it as a scav, obviously. And as a USEC, you're probably going to want to kill the rogues anyways, because they're probably going to aggro you, even if they don't as you get in there. Where you have to walk around is going to be a pretty big problem. Now, I found the laptop in the red Connex, but it can also spawn on the other side in the other Connexes. So you might have to look around for it a little bit. It'll be there. Just take a peek. It's a quest item, so it's not going to get looted by anybody else. So you could wait till the end of the raid to go and get it if you want. Now, you could see the rewards. There wasn't anything great there, but let's talk about the next step. This was the first day. This was Friday. Friday morning, we got these 3. Well, today, Saturday morning, we got 2 more. I haven't started the first one yet. I'm going to do them here in a little bit. I want to get the video done. That's not the right one. You got part 4. And this is locate the place of the rogues meeting spot on Shoreline. Now, this is the kicker to the rest of what happened yesterday. Sanitar and the goons are 100% spawn rate on Shoreline at the cottages. So that means, you have over here on the west side of the map, you have the village, but the cottages, grandma's house, some people call it, other things like that. Or grandma's cottages. You've got the construction area. It's one of Sanitar's normal spawns, right? The goons and Sani will both 100% spawn here. Every map, it is a train wreck trying to fight them. It is very difficult, but I'm guessing that's what you've got to do, is locate that and disrupt it somehow, probably. And then part 5 I don't have yet, but I've seen people been talking about it. You need to get a Bitcoin. I'll do some more detail on these. We'll do a second video here probably tonight. Once I go through this, I'll talk about how to do this the best, where to get Bitcoins from, all that kind of stuff. But the big part is, let's talk about the reward. Fence's little thing about improvement to your hideout to increase your stash base. Now, we'll throw up a clip here from the Tarkov TV so you can see it for yourself, because a lot of people don't believe me, but Nikita mentioned a task at the end of the wipe that was going to have a reward.
We have prepared different kind of events for you. One of it will be pretty big. You'll need to complete a quest line. And if you will complete this quest line, you will receive a really special bonus.
Now, for me, it seems pointless to have a fancy reward at the end of wipe, since we know this is kind of leading up to wipe. That's just going to get deleted unless it's going to stick with us. So I believe that we're going to get some kind of stash enhancement, whether it be the weapon rack or the maybe two more lines, 2 more slots on our stash space, whatever it may be, that's going to be permanent and will persist through the wipe, which will be a first outside of, like, let's say the alpha armband. There's not much, you don't keep anything other than like that kind of stuff from wipe to wipe. So that's why you're going to see a big push for people trying to get these tasks done. So how long do we have? Don't know. I put it at about 7 days. We'll see. It could be 7 days. It could be 10 days. It could be 2 weeks. I figured that once we get the cadence picked up on these tasks and we start getting tasks every day, that in my head says, hey, it's getting close to wipe. And that's what just happened this morning. We got the second set of these. And from what it looks like, when you get part 5 done, there is a timer that started that will kick in tomorrow morning, and more tasks. And it's universal. BSG already said it's a universal timer. It's not individual. So once you turn your 5 Bitcoins in, you're good. You don't have to do it right away. You don't have to wait 24 hours. It started, I guess, when the first person did it. So tomorrow we'll get our next set, whether that's going to be 1, 3, or 5 or whatever, I don't know. But what I'm expecting to see is, this is how BSG is going to show us the pre-wipe events. That they loosely link them in the past with some lore stuff that doesn't do anything. To me, I think that we're going to work through each map, lots of different bosses, lots of different kind of crazy events that are all going to be tied to this fence lore thing and doing tasks. So it's not just, okay, all the scav bosses are on one map, go have fun. It's, hey, there's a reason to go to this map to complete a task, which adds a much better dynamic to the events, in my opinion. So we'll see a week or so, and I think we're gonna have wipe, and we'll see what this reward is. And I will make sure to do a video each day doing a walkthrough on how to get through the tasks, so you can figure it out for yourself if you're struggling. But we'll wrap her up there. Quick shout out for my music, link down in the description. I make my own. I don't make it, somebody makes it for me, but it's my music. It's free to listen to. It supports the channel. It's also free for content creators to use without the fear of DMCA or copyright strikes. I'm giving you permission here. The only thing we ask is that you give us credit in your description or something somewhere so people know where it's from. But thanks for watching, guys. Wish you the best of luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.